Today I'm going to review the SpaceX pantomime company. Going to have a little look at Elon, apparently overcome with emotion. Look at some SpaceX footage, supposedly great achievements made over the last couple of days. And then I'm going to pose the question. Does this SpaceX stuff pass the smell test? Or is it the usual tosh we get on the heliocentric pantomime circuit known as space? Let's have a look. First up, let's just take a look at these heliocentric space pantomime costumes and pose the question here. Are these better than the traditional pantomime costumes? I'm not impressed. So we got your space panto costume and your traditional panto costume. Space, traditional, space, traditional. If I'm honest, I think for credibility the traditional might have been better, because these just ain't cutting it, I'm afraid. These are shocking. And the guys in the background with the masks on, I'm guessing that's not for COVID. I'm guessing that's because of the overwhelming smell of bullshit that is oozing from the pantomime stage that is SpaceX. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Okay, first up, the main dame for SpaceX, Elon. Supposedly here, he's overcome with emotion. Supposedly. Based on what he's achieved over the last couple of days. This was filmed just before the guys supposedly docked with the ISS, okay? We're going to have a listen to Elon here. I just want you to watch him and listen, and just watch how empty his words are. Just watch, there's nothing there. There's no emotion, there's no realness to what he's saying. There's no conviction. Just watch, Elon, how empty and how unconvincing he is.
Oh, I'd like to just acknowledge the incredible work of the people at SpaceX and NASA and everyone in creating this technology. And
creating what technology, Elon? You're muttering and you're stuttering. There's no conviction, there's no emotion, just awkwardness. You're claiming that thanking people for inventing this great technology. All you've supposedly done is go to low Earth orbit. But in 1969, America supposedly was doing wheel spins on the moon and playing crazy golf. So what technology have you invented? That's right, nothing. Just daft stories, fella.
In what has culminated in this incredible launch today of getting astronauts back to orbit after almost a decade, I think this is something that should really get people, right on the heart of anyone who has any spirit of exploration. And the United States is a distillation of the human spirit of exploration.
Is this guy for real? Given what's going on in America at the moment, this guy thinks everyone should be feeling his bit of panto because this idiot sent a rocket up. Literally, we saw a firework. And we've had a bit of panto played out on our screen. Everyone should feel it. Sorry, mate. The days of space panto are over. You know it as well. There's no conviction in what you're saying. Just emptiness. I agree. It cannot be easy defending utter fucking nonsense, alright? So, I get it. It's not easy. But I think I could probably do a better job than you. There's nothing. Emptiness, waffle, gibberish.
This is something that's particularly important in the United States, but appeals.
Yeah, don't worry about people losing their homes, jobs, people getting battered, murdered by cops. Don't worry about any of this information, all these crazy stuff going on. Feel the pantomime, clown.
To everyone throughout the world who has within them the spirit of exploration. So
I got the spirit of exploration. But not looking up at the sky and fantasizing about rockets and CGI. Mine's more about exploring this place, fella. By sea, by land, by air. Going south for as far as you can go. Going north for as far as you can go. Mapping it, having a look about. That would be real exploration. Not taking someone's word for it. Go and have a look for myself.
I'm really quite overcome with emotion this day. It's kind of hard.
Really? That's funny, because I'm not detecting it whatsoever. What I'm detecting is awkwardness and quite a bad liar, fella. There's no conviction here. It would seem the realization of what you've got yourself into is starting to hit home. The materialistic philosophy is very, very short term as far as the rewards. It's empty. It's non-rewarding. On paper and on TV, on an advert, it sounds great, but the reality of it is it never really rewards. It's an enslavement system. And I can see now you've probably found that out because you're not very convincing. You're struggling with a lie, it would seem, and your materialistic wealth and trinkets aren't cutting it anymore, are they, Elon?
Talk, frankly. It's been 18 years working towards this goal, so it's hard to believe that it's happened. And we haven't quite yet docked it.
You're right, it is hard to believe it's happened. The only thing that's happened is a very poor production known as pantomime. That's the only thing that's happened that's real. The rest of it, well...
The space station, and of course we need to bring them back safely, and we need to repeat these missions and have this be a regular occurrence. So it's a lot of work to do, but it's just incredible. I think this is something that everyone, this is a craft made by humans, for humans. It's just like
You're really struggling to get the emotion going here. I'm just going to bring you back. A craft made by humans for humans. So I've got a question here. Who made the previous craft then? If this one's made by humans, who made the previous craft? Elon? Reptilians? Bigfoot? Who? Can you see what a mess this SpaceX pantomime company have got themselves into? Dear oh dear, this so-called genius doesn't have a fucking Scooby-Doo.
That I think humanity should be excited about and proud of occurring on this day.
Humanity needs to look after itself and not give a flying fuck for idiots that appear on our TV screen. Humanity, if you care about that, you should give every single penny of your money away to humanity. Because humanity, when push comes to shove, doesn't give a flying fuck about your rockets or your pantomime company, because it doesn't put food on the table, mate. So just because you're appearing on TV doesn't mean anyone gives a fuck, because clearly you're struggling with a lie. The crap you've come out with, the lack of conviction, the lack of real emotion, just tells us the lie is unraveling. You know it. You know it. Now, when this was live, it cut. You couldn't see it land live, the rocket booster. But a few hours later, you'll get this release. So we'll just have a look at this. Now, this is supposedly 20 ton coming down to land on this barge, okay? I want you to look at the barge itself. Watch the barge, and it's a little bit choppy. But watch the barge. And watch the barge. There's going to be a lot of distraction when the supposed rocket gets near with smoke and stuff. But there's no deflection from what I can see whatsoever with regards to the barge. Bearing in mind, 20 ton is landing on it. I would expect to see some deflection, and certainly the effects of that weight compressing onto the barge, and I'd expect to see that affect the water a little bit around the barge. I don't. But let's have a look. Here it comes. 20 ton coming down to land. I just don't see any deflection other than just the ocean itself moving the barge. I didn't see what I would expect to see. 20-ton landing on a barge, I'd expect to see deflection and the effects of that 20-ton around the outside of that barge. I didn't. It's almost like it's footage of a barge at sea with a rocket that's been CGI'd in. That's what my opinion of that is. But there we go. Meanwhile, supposedly in the ISS, the two heroes have just joined the ISS, coming through the hatch. Pay particular attention to our mate here on the right in the black top. His left hand on the right is almost like he's unhitching a cable. So pay particular attention to the astronaut on the right hand side and his left hand. So let's have a look. And again, what's he doing there? Once more. It's almost like our mate there is doing his little trick with his harness there to stop himself moving a bit too far. Again, rumbled. No wonder Elon was so sketchy and there was no real emotion. No wonder. This pantomime is just getting worse and worse and worse. And let's not forget, just before I go, what Elon is supposedly replacing. The great American shuttle. Of course, Elon is the first American space rocket, supposedly SpaceX, to go back to the space station. We're just going to have a little refresher of the last time American supposed rocketry went to the space station. When in fact, when we look at this official NASA footage, it's nothing more than a prop in a dark room with an Airfix model space shuttle attached to a bog roll inspired space station made with mosaic tiles, no doubt stuck on a stick in a dark room while the supposed globe Earth is projected on the right. Look at it. It's a fucking model. And that is supposedly where Elon sends his rockets and these people are docking. Shocking. Original footage, and look at the state of it. 17,500 miles an hour. SpaceX, just like NASA, are shockingly bad. On the pantomime scale, NASA get a B-. SpaceX, C-. Absolutely shocking. And we only have to look at original old school NASA footage like we've just seen to remind ourselves all of it. The ISS, heliocentric space, is nonsense. High altitude planes, Airfix models, CGI, hairspray commercials, pantomime, all blended together to entertain an audience that's gullible enough to believe this nonsense. Dear, oh dear, oh dear.